All right, good morning, my friends, the beautiful ones. Welcome to the love vibration. We vibrate high around here, folks, know what I'm saying? But there's something I've been thinking about, and I just want to say, hey, you, negative person, depressed person, guess what? The lower you are, the greater the potential for your happiness is. All right, let me explain. So I have been someone who's had severe, major depression pretty much their whole life. I'm 43. When I was, 15, I already wanted to, harm myself and leave. I am no stranger to feeling low, to, the lowest of low, hopelessness, no hope. Didn't want to do life. And a lot of people didn't resonate with that, I found out. I learned that many people had no idea what that level of sadness and depression and negativity felt like. Their lowest was not near as low as mine. My baseline was like down here, you're low person. Low vibrational energy, depression. So now, how am I going to say this? Some of these people, some people have been positive their whole life. They were just kind of born like that. They were always able to just be like, oh, it's okay. When stuff happened, they just dealt with it like so-called normal people. I wasn't one of these people. I let everything destroy me. But if you know anything about duality, you need the opposite to feel the other. So if you've had that extreme level of lowness, if you manage to leave that behind and work on yourself and get the opposite, you will feel happiness on a level, that those people who just always had it won't even realize. You could, as low as you are, bugs flew in my eye, is as high as you could get. And I'm experiencing that now. Because it's relief. It's relief. Like, okay, one time I was in rehab, and it was a working rehab. They would send us to jobs, and our whole thing was we had to issue parking passes to college students who would, pull up, and, they're like registering for college or whatever. And we had to be on our feet and just stand there for like 12 hours a day or something. We got there early, we left late, and literally we just stood there. So I don't know if you know what it's like to stand in like one place for hours and hours. Your legs get a little tired. You get a little tired. And guess what? We were also in the hot sun. So when we actually got to sit down, that relief was like nothing you would experience if you haven't had to stand for that long. Know what I'm saying? Other people sit down all the time and they just sit down and it's like, oh. But if you've been standing for 12 hours straight in the hot sun and then you sit down, sitting down's gonna feel a little different for you. So let's relate that to being depressed, being down. If you've been down your whole dang life, and then all of a sudden you're not, because you put the work in, you connected with love, you did what it takes to get up, this up is gonna feel so freaking ridiculous. It's gonna feel like sitting down after you've been standing like in the hot sun like for hour, like all day. You know, you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying here. So, sorry, I'm going to be swatting away bugs that bite me. If you've been, you know, if you're a negative person currently, or, yeah, I'm talking to you, person who's, you know, not even getting out of bed today and haven't for like a long time because you just don't want to. You know, I get that. That was me. You don't want to see anyone. That was me. Most of my life. You don't want to talk to anyone. People suck, right? That was me. I'm telling you, because that's you, you're able to feel the greatest relief ever. As low as you get is as high as you could get. It's going to feel better than the people who's never dealt with what you're going through. I'm telling you, I am the example of this. You know, I'm not freaking downplaying the level of depression and hopelessness that I've had most of my life. I'm not downplaying it. And I'm also not downplaying the level of, you know, ridiculousness that I'm feeling nowadays. You know, amazingly incredible every single day. Every single day. There's a bug just chilling on my mustache. Guys, I am telling you, I know you don't believe it right now because you feel like shit. I get it. My baseline was feeling absolute garbage, hungover, you know, I'm physically sick, mentally sick, you know, life was torture every single day. I still woke up, you know, I'm thinking, how could I not wake up? You know, I don't want to wake up another day. If that's you, guess what? There is potential to have the biggest freaking comeback ever. And let me tell you something about people who make comebacks. Those are the coolest people on the planet. I swear. I swear. The people who have gone through it all and then make the change and come out clean on the other side, those are the coolest people on the planet. You have potential to be one of the coolest freaking souls that's ever existed and had a human experience. So, I know it might be rough right now. It might, you know, that might be a big understatement. Things might be not good at all for you, or you might perceive it like that. But because of that, when you start doing stuff to turn it around, you could feel like me. You could feel amazingly incredible. You could smile for real. You could laugh for real. You could connect with others for real and enjoy it. I'll never enjoy it. I could never be like that. Why? I'm doing it. How are we different? How are we different? I'm just a person. I'm just a guy. I'm not a spiritual guru or nothing like that. I'm a person. An average, nothing special person. But I found a way that works for me. And disclaimer, I don't believe that there's one way. I believe many people have many ways of achieving this. But for me, affirmations, daily affirmations every single morning to reprogram my negative mindset into a more positive one. Holy shnikes, does it work? And it makes sense why it would work, right? Because it's a daily thing. We've already been programmed. You're programmed. Did you know that? You're programmed to think negatively. You're programmed to feel like shit. It happened. You didn't plan for it to happen. You didn't realize it was happening, but that's what happened. You know, whatever happened in your life, it programmed you, just like my life programmed me, you know, right from the start to be a negative, unhappy person. So, guess what? It takes work. Oh no, I don't want to put work in. I'm sorry, it takes freaking work. But here's the thing. This doesn't feel like work to me. Like, I'm working right now on myself by doing this, by talking to you, by looking at the camera, by getting bitten by bugs. This is me working. And it sure doesn't feel like work, but it is. You know, this is how I elevate myself. This is how I let out. Like, I don't know what I'm saying. It's just flowing. I'm in the flow state. You know, I'm just letting it out. I'm figuring stuff out. There's some cool bugs out here. You know, in nature, this is beautiful. Let's just pause for a second. But guys, if I could do it, you could do it. So yeah, back to the affirmations. Every morning, you know, I do daily affirmations on my channel. I just did them on my other channel, because this channel, the Love Vibration, is brand new. So I don't have enough subscribers to do live streams yet. That's why you gotta subscribe and like if you like this sort of thing. If I'm talking to you, like if you're resonating in this right now, you should probably subscribe, because you're my people, because we're like the same. I'm just in a different place than you, but we're no different, you know? I've gone through the hopelessness, the negativity, the mental disorders, the psych meds, the freaking hospital visits, you know, you name it, jail, you freaking name it, all right? My story might not be as hardcore as some, but believe me, you know, it's hardcore enough. You know, I've experienced enough that, you know, I get it. And I do watch Soft White Underbelly. I know that there's some extreme lives out there. But seriously, you know, I love everybody, connect with everybody. You know, that's the person I've programmed myself to be, that I'm programming myself to be. And remember, guys, like, this is fairly new for me. Oh, hello. This is the 1 month anniversary of the Love Vibration. No, yesterday was. Because I think June 2nd was, oh, maybe not. I don't know what I'm saying. No, I just celebrated 2 weeks. Sorry, guys. I've been doing affirmations for a month. I started doing my affirmations June 2nd, and it's now July 3rd. That's what the anniversary is. So yeah, woo. So yeah, dude, I've been doing affirmations for a month, and I'm a new freaking person. Not a new person, but, well, yeah. I'm connecting with, you know, the adult version of my inner child. That's how I see it, you know. Our inner child, that's how we were born. That's who we, like, really are. So connect back with that, because that's who you are, you know. Before the world dumps stuff on you. Oh, it is hot. I'll get a little sun. Hold on. So 1 month in, I've been doing this. My goodness. Oh my God. These bugs are like crazy. Sorry guys, bear with me a second. Because you know I do these videos mostly just raw, uncut. Yeah, anyways. Yo guys, take a look at what I'm looking at. It's pretty chill right here. But, whew. Anyways, the point is, I'm just gonna keep repeating this, but I'm gonna, hold on. I'm very hot. So, yeah, the point is, I mean, if you are someone struggling right now, like the more, like if you've really struggled like me, super depression, not getting out of bed, not talking to anyone, if you've been doing that for years, your whole life, doesn't matter how old you are, I'm 43 for reference, dude, you could get up higher than someone who's just never experienced that, you know? The relief you will feel, it's amazing. It's amazingly incredible. The relief I feel just by being now, just waking up every day, appreciating everything now. Everything looks different now too. Everything looks different. Like the nature looks more beautiful. People look more beautiful. It's the life you want. It's a life that you could only imagine and dream of. The one you don't think is possible. I'm letting you know it's possible, and it feels better than you could imagine. Because you're not waiting for stuff to happen. You know, it's no longer about when this particular thing happens, then I'll be happy. It's not that. It's the same exact life could be occurring, but since this changes, you know, do the affirmation or however you make the change, everything changes. Everything changes. You look at yourself different. You just love and forgive yourself for everything. My goodness. My goodness. Everything just looks different. This is a cool area. Yeah, it's pretty nice around here. I'm just at a local park. Yeah, you're gonna want to go outside. I was the most indoorsy person ever. You know, going outside was not something I wanted to do ever. I was like, I'm gonna stay in here. I'm gonna, you know, keep it dark in the house. You know, keep the windows closed. I don't want anyone looking in. I don't want to look out. I don't, you know, not concerned with what anyone's doing. Just gonna sit on the couch, you know, scroll through TV, play a video game, you know, forever. I still do love video games. Deltarune Chapter 5. But it's different now. Now, if I don't get out in nature for a day, I feel like I missed out. And this is also why I want to move somewhere where there's not a harsh winter. So I do want to move a little more south eventually, which I will. I'm gonna do it. It's not like I want to, I'm gonna do it. But geez, yo, to my friend right now, you, who's just not feeling that great, like there's hope. Like I am proof that there's hope and that you could do it, because I'm no different. I'm literally no different. It's just you gotta put the effort in eventually. Whenever that motivation comes, you gotta watch my Stages of Change video to find out like where you are. I'll recap that real quick. So there's certain levels of change when you're making a change. You go through these stages. Pre-contemplation is where you don't realize there's a problem, so you don't feel like you need to change at all. That's like the first stage. You don't even realize there's an issue here. Everything's fine. I don't care. Leave me alone. Contemplation is when you do realize there's a problem. You start seeing it. You're like, actually, you know, my behaviors are affecting others. It's affecting myself. You know, what should I do? You know, you recognize the problem. The next stage, stage 3, is preparation. You're like, all right, I want to make a change, but I don't know how. How do I do it? You start researching. You start talking to people. You start watching the love vibration. You know, you start getting these ideas in your head. You start preparing. It's preparation. You know, how do I make this change? So after you prepared, the next stage is the action stage. And that's where I'm at now. You take action. You said, okay, I know what to do now. Now I'm going to start doing it. You know, slowly but surely, or all at once, however you do it. You know, you start taking action. For me, you know, it's the daily affirmations every single day without fail. Yeah, you start taking action and you do it and you make that, and the change starts happening because you're taking the action. And then after that, you know, maybe after a year or so of taking that action and being consistent, then you're in maintenance. That's where we all want to be eventually, where that change has taken shape and it's just you now. It's the new you, and you just maintain that. And, you know, after a year, we'll see what happens. I already know that's happening. Like, I don't take no for an answer anymore. You know, anytime a self-doubt thought comes, I've trained myself to, you know, flip that around immediately. You know, that's what the affirmations do for me. It helps me realize when I'm thinking something I really shouldn't be thinking, you know, my old way of thinking. And now I have something to replace those with. So, you know, I've been putting the work in. My motto is hardcore effort for hardcore results. You know, I want results. So I'm putting that effort in. And I get it. You know, I'm gung-ho about it. And right now you might be like, that sounds awful. You know, wherever you're at, I get it. But, you know, identify what stage of change you're in. You know, maybe you don't think there's a problem yet, or maybe you're like, yeah, it's a problem, but I don't know what to do. So, you know, wherever you're at, you know, there's hope for you. There's hope for you. Seriously, I just want to let you know, there's freaking hope, dude. Like, I'm now the kind of person that I always talk trash about back in the day. I was like, yo, these toxic, you're so toxic with your positivity. You know, I always talk trash about people like that back in the day. But I get it now because I've been doing it. It makes sense. We're not crazy, you know, we're not positive no matter what, you know, we're positive on the regular now. We shifted our perception of our life to realize that our life was fine all along and this was the issue. But guys, I just want to let you know, if you're the most depressed person in the world, the most depressed person that's ever existed, no one's ever felt the way you have, guess what? That means you have the chance to turn that around and be the happiest person who's ever existed because you felt that low. You know, it's not like you're trying to get from low to normal. No, you're trying to get from low to freaking incredibly amazing. Because why? Why wouldn't you want to feel that way, you know? Normal's like boring. Normal's great. Sorry people who are normal. But that's not what I'm shooting for. Not for me. No. I'm a unique individual. I'm a weirdo like Gonzo from the Muppets. And my purpose in life is to be myself and show what being yourself fully looks like. To undo your conditioning, what the world and, you know, what society and your culture tells you you're supposed to be, and just be you, minus all that thoughts. You know, who are you when you were born, before all those thoughts were implanted into you? That's who you actually are. That's who you got to become again. Only the adult version and the smarter version and the one that's learning. I'm always just laughing now because I'm just psyched. I'm psyched now. I was never psyched before. I was the opposite. I was the opposite of psyched. Now I'm super psyched. See, that's the thing. The lower you are, the higher you get. And it's gonna happen for you. I have faith in you, all right? I have freaking faith, even if you don't. Because I did it, so therefore, there's no question. I don't have to guess. I know it's true. It's freaking true. It's true for me. It's true for you. I love you guys so much. Go check out that video right there. All right. I love you so freaking much. Subscribe. I hope I see you again soon. All right, guys. Love you. Bye.